Okay, well, I am honored to be able to moderate this distinguished panel who I just met. And we're going to start first by just asking each person to introduce themselves, where they go to school, and what they hope to do after high school and college.
My name is Samantha Bristol. I currently attend Walla Community College, and I would love to teach math.
My name is Osvaldo Contreras. I currently attend Walla Community College. I'm a sophomore here, and I plan to be a counselor.
My name is Kevin Romero. I attend Walla High School, and one of my career goals would be a counselor.
Hello, I'm Nathaniel Hughes, and my plan for I'm a sophomore in high school, in Walla High School, and my plan to do after college is to go in mechanics.
Okay, I'll start with the college students. So the question is what programs or people helped you to succeed in college and for your career? So could we start with Samantha?
So in college, I first went to college during the Running Start program offered at the high school. I didn't take it too seriously, and I wasn't really told how serious it was. But when I came to college, I was ready. I'd worked for a couple of years and didn't really like minimum wage jobs, so I knew I needed a career. And Trio really reached out to me. I started working at the college in the bookstore, and he would come see me every day, and he would say, ask me a little question here, a little question there, and eventually he said, you would be a great candidate for Trio, and it's really helped me stay on track and ready for my goal.
Okay, Osvaldo?
So I also did Running Start my senior year, and also didn't take it as much of a serious concern for myself, but I also joined Trio as well as her, and I believe Trio has actually helped me be more successful, as they have helped me guide my path through my 2 years in order to get my Associate of Arts and also to get my bachelor's and go on further from that. So I believe Trio has been like a big part in like helping me achieve my goals.
Thank you. So, Kevin, we in this room oftentimes use, and this is for Nathaniel too, use this term called career ready. Is that term something that high school age kids even think about? Is it on your radar in any event, or what does it mean to you if somebody says, are you career ready? Could you respond to those?
What I think it means to me is like getting prepared for like your future. Some students don't really take it serious or like pay attention to college because they're adolescents, and I think it's really important for a student to be getting prepared even the freshman year so they won't fall off track and like just be prepared.
Right, thank you.
In high school, kids really don't take being career ready as serious as they should, because after high school, either they are going to go to college or they plan to, or else they don't go through with it, due to the fact that they don't know what they're going to do after they graduate. And if you start in college, if you start in high school being career ready, then you already have that mindset and that readiness for what's to come after college.
A follow-up question for the Nathaniel, and during your high school, has anyone talked to you about what it means to be career ready as a way of guiding you through high school?
Well, like, as of right now, I'm in the AVID program, so that helps me get ready for college and teaches me all, like, what I need to know about college and how to be ready for, to decide what college I'm going to go into and stuff. So my teacher, my AVID teacher, is who talks to me and helps me through most of that.
And Kevin, what about you? Did you since you've been in high school, have you been, has anybody talked with you about this idea of being career ready and pushed you to study harder for that?
Well, in the back, Mrs. Alonso, she does like Eastern Washington trips to get like students an idea or I don't know, something in their head, so like something they like, so they can see what's coming after college or high school. And I feel like a lot of students should take the opportunity of going to these trips because it'll open their minds.
Okay, thank you. For Samantha and Osvaldo, during your high school, did you get exposed to the different post-secondary options, meaning what you might be able to do in college or in a career? Was that something that you were exposed to during your high school experience?
When I first moved here, it was middle of my freshman year, and there were groups certainly in high school that talked about post-secondary options, but a lot of these groups had been together since they were in like middle school, just really young, so I was really nervous to even take those opportunities, but they had really nice counselors and people at Walla who very much helped you, but I was too nervous to take those opportunities being someone new.
When I first started high school, I was introduced to Gear Up, and they helped me like get my mindset ready for like what's to come after high school. So they pretty much gave me the mindset of like, okay, so once you begin high school, you can either, for me it was like my 2 years, yeah, you can just start them, and then when you're in between, you can either become college ready after that, and that's how I pretty much become prepared for college, and from there on followed the path of doing Running Start and coming to community college over here.
We had a community college administrator here, a couple of school superintendents here earlier, just in front of you, and what would you advise them regarding what they could do better to help students be ready for life after high school? Samantha, and then Osvaldo.
So in high school, we weren't held accountable as much. Late work was allowed, extra credit was offered that really didn't have anything to do with the class itself. And not that that wasn't great, like yeah, we want to graduate high school, but it didn't quite make me, I was not prepared. I wasn't prepared until I got my first job at McDonald's and had to learn like time management skills and everything like that. And then I was like, oh, okay, so, you know, you are, you have deadlines, things like that. And I just didn't really learn that in high school. But I definitely feel that I have those skills now. That's why I'm at college now.
So for me, my parents wanted me to be college ready, so they've already had that mindset where they wanted me to be the first generation college student who get a degree, and after that, they pretty much just passed that on to me and made me think of like going out into the high school and just finding opportunities or like groups or anything that can help me out. And I was just one of those students that wanted to find out like what's out there pretty much. And well, that was the only thing I had. I just had that mindset. I wasn't that student that was like, oh well, I'm not really going to focus in college as much. I was that student that was like, okay, after high school I need to go straight to college in order to like get an education and get a career in what I'm trying to get at.
Thanks. for Kevin and Nathaniel. What could high schools do better to better serve all students, including those who really struggle the most?
Well, at our school they have this program called Trilogy, and like it just helps anybody that's been through stuff. And like I faced a couple of things in my life because like I was young, like, and then they like signed me up for this Trilogy, like counseling me, like one-on-ones, and it really got me focused into like what I wanted to do in my career, in my life, and not just like some gang member. And I started focusing more on school. I got back on track, and like I feel like school should have more like counselors, more like activities or like groups, one-on-ones, so like not only kids like keep what they've done inside of, but they're free to open their minds and get like what they want to do in their careers.
I think this program, you said it's called Trilogy. Is it a counseling program? Is it what kind of program is it?
Yeah, it's like a counseling program. It also could be like a drug and alcohol program, or like you can just meet up with her on any occasion.
So is there more than one staff person doing it, or are there several?
Well, at school there's only one, and like I do know they have another like a Trilogy office by the YMCA, and like there's more counselors there, but it'd be more helpful if more counselors like them came to our school instead of just one.
So Nathaniel, the same question. What could high schools do better to help ensure that all students are successful in high school and can go into college or into their career?
Well, I think, kind of like what Kevin was saying, we could have more counselors and like counseling programs at high school to help those kids that are shy and not like open to speaking to more people. And I think that would help them come out of their shell more. It'd be able to help all the kids that really need the help. And so like, I go to counseling, like as a sophomore in high school, you really don't think that you would go through a lot, you know? But I've been through a lot, and I'm about to be a junior, but like so far, I've been through a lot with my parents and my family and everything, and they just want what's best for me. And if the high school had more counseling programs, kids that have been through a lot like me would get the help they need.
Okay, then just a final question. I'd like if each of you could just try to point to a specific program that helped you, and repeat it again if need be, but what was the one or two things that most helped you to get where you are today, to either get into college or to be on track to be able to graduate and go into college or into a career?
I would say TRIO again. I was reached out in a place that I wasn't expecting to be reached out at, and so I didn't, it wasn't as intimidating or scary or anything like that. And then again, working really, getting a job when I was in high school really kind of, like I said, set up routines for me. It made sure that I knew what deadlines were important, my time was scheduled, and I just really learned how to manage my time a little bit better. I just didn't learn that very well in high school.
Well, after I was finished with Running Start in my high school senior year, I wasn't introduced to TRIO until like the second quarter of my first year at the community college here. and they didn't reach out to me. I was referred to by a friend, and they told me that they had options where they could either give you, they could take you to trips for free. They could take you to see your preferred college that you'd like to attend. They give you book loans and a whole bunch of other options where they could benefit for you. So I took that chance and started joining the TRIO program, and that's where I just pretty much blossomed and started like seeing where I would go from there.
Well, for someone like me, I had to do Serenity Point counseling, and it's like another drug and alcohol thing, and like it helped me improve a lot. It helped me stay sober for about 5-6 months, and I'm keeping it like that. And like they really opened my mind, like Trilogy, or just a counselor at school, and like it's not only for like I said, it's not only drugs and alcohol, but for any occasion, like even if you need a little more help on your homework, or or just like someone to talk to, it's a great place. It's like not because they want to like keep you accountable, but they want to help us in the community a lot.
Thank you. Nathaniel?
Well, one place I would say is Blue Mountain Action Council. That really helped me come out of my shell pretty much, and like be more open with my family instead of holding all my emotions inside, and just be open with them. And ever since then, I've been more open with my family. My parents have more trust in me, and they know that I have a bright future, so I'm doing what I can to not let them down.
Well, very good. Thank you very much. And I don't know, Kevin, if there's time, if there's, there must be 1 or 2 burning questions out there, but the scripted questions anyway, we're done.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. We have some questions, and thank you so much for your honesty and sharing. Judy.
Well, first I want to say that we're all very proud of you. You guys rock. And we're excited to hopefully hear back in the future, you know, where your paths, your career paths and your life paths are going to take you, because you are all on the right track. Excellent. The question I wanted to ask was, could you, from your school experience, we talk a lot about high school, but can we back you up to middle school and elementary? Was there any spark or anything in what we're talking about, just putting a vision in your head for what you could become or anything? Was there any experiences like that at the lower grades?
See, when I was in kindergarten, I wasn't gonna pass it, like for bilingual, and like I remember, like I was little too, and I had a broken leg and everything. I was going through pain, and like my mom was there a lot. She helped me like learn both languages quicker, and I was able to pass. And middle school, I wasn't really like top GPA student, but like I tried my hardest, and that's really much what everybody needs, is like motivation to get to where you want to be at.
Yeah, back in elementary school, I was not doing this in the 3rd grade, and I wasn't doing so good. I missed school a lot because of like my living situation, like moving from school to school. So it was hard to stay caught up with one thing, and it wasn't looking good that I wasn't gonna pass 3rd grade. So then I went to the office and I scheduled a meeting with the school counselor and my parents, and they pretty much inspired me to do everything I can, no matter how long I was at the school, just do as much as I can. And I made it through. And so far, that's what I've been doing. I've been just keeping close with my parents and keep talking to my counselor to keep me on track. And so far, everything's going great.
Just a quick question. How many different schools have you each gone to between kindergarten and 12th grade?
I went to 3 elementary schools, about 2 middle schools, and this is just the only high school I've been to, and it's Walla.
I have attended all elementary schools here in Walla when I was in during my first and second grade years, because I wasn't at the normal level where I was supposed to be during my first grade year. I was a student that needed like help, so I needed like help still like knowing math, knowing how to write, knowing how to read, so I still needed that support. And so I had to switch from like different schools, not because no teacher wanted me there, but because of my parents. We had to like switch from house to house and just find a place to live at. And I stayed at Blue Ridge Elementary School from like 1st grade through 5th grade, and from there I was placed like half of the day in a normal class, and then the other half I was placed into like a class where they would help me out with my or the places where I wouldn't really be at my level where I was supposed to be. And when I got to my 4th grade year, they switched me and just left me into that one class where I just needed help with. And I think that really helped me out the most. Where was I wouldn't really know what it was called, but I know it was an intervention specialist teacher there, and she made all the activities where maths and reading was fun, where I didn't really take it as like fun. I thought of it as like, oh, math was like boring, counting and all this. But after a while, the teacher, she like made each activity fun by like trying to make games and like prizes or so. So that motivated me to like do my homework and get my assignments done. And that's pretty much where I just like started like struggling back when I was like growing up. And throughout middle school, I was still placed under, I was at least, I guess, 10% lower from the level where everyone else is supposed to be, from 6th grade to 7th grade. And when I reached 8th grade, I took the EOC and I passed it and finally got to where I was supposed to be. And through high school, I pretty much was set into like all my regular classes.
And I went to 3 different elementary schools. One was, before I moved to Walla, I used to live up in Seattle. So I went to elementary school over there. And then my mom found a job here in Walla, so then we moved down here. And due to her job, we had to move from one house to another, which led to me switching from one school to another. And then I stayed at that one school, and I went to 2 different middle schools. They were both here in Walla, so I just went to those 2 middle schools. And so far, I've only been to Walla High.
So I actually was born in Arizona, and I went to 3 different elementary schools in Arizona, but they also had a program called SAGE, and so I was taken out of the class, and we were taken out for math and for reading for advanced classes, and so we did more rigorous activities, but then I moved one last time, a 4th time, and I was in middle school at that point, but they were K through 12 there, or K through 8, and at that point I lost those programs, and then I started high school out there, and I was only there for half a year, and they were on semester systems, and here in Washington they're all year long. So when I came here my freshman year, I literally could only take 1 class at the college or at the high school, and I felt really set back by that. But again, in Arizona, there wasn't really an option. Like I never thought of not passing classes. Like it wasn't really, like 8th grade was an 8th grade promotion. You know, it was, there was no separation, like you're not graduating anything, you haven't earned anything. At least that was the mindset there, you know, it was, I felt it was a lot more strict, and there wasn't really, I didn't feel like I had an option not to.
Okay, so this is intended to be just general questions, so you can answer any way you want. It doesn't even have to be about your school. But, so you're each kind of at different points in your journey there. You got some in high school and some in community college. So how about one thing that you're looking forward to and one thing that you're a little worried about?
I'm really excited to get to kind of share my talents with people and kind of be a forever learner, because I'd love to be a teacher. But I'm nervous about the transition from the community college to a 4-year. But they're helping me. I'm actually looking at the Gateway program here at Whitman College.
Is there a part of the transition that's making you nervous?
Just it's a bigger school, and it's, I don't know, I mean, I feel ready. I started taking my first honors classes. And so I feel like, you know, they're a little bit more rigorous, and these people, they ask a lot better questions, or they seem a lot like they care more. But I don't know, just that kind of that step, hoping that it's a kind of a smooth transition, but knowing that I have to be an adult eventually, and I can't have my hand held all the time.
Well, I'm just ready to go off to Eastern, where I'll be attending my 3rd and 4th year over there, transferring over, and I'm just happy to get my 2nd degree over there, where I will begin to start my psychology program, and my plan after that is to get my master's in the same program, and I'm just really happy that I can be like the first one in my family to actually get a degree out of everyone in my family pretty much. And I don't really think I have a point where I'll be like struggling. I mean, scholarships and everything help me out, so I think I'm pretty set for college for right now.
One thing I'm looking forward to is being a counselor, any kind, drug, helping other students out, just like the help I got to me and how much it made me improve. So not only I can like help adolescents, but like people who grew up in the streets and like get them ready for anything. But one thing I'm afraid of is like I was in and out of juvenile detention, and like randomly like I would do good 1 year and like fall. But like sometimes when I was growing up, my stepdad would tell me, like, you can't really get away with anything. It could come back later in life. And like what if it really does? But like, my motivation is set to be going to college and finishing high school.
I'm on the same boat as Kevin. I've been in and out of juvenile detention, and my parents want me to do better because I have a little brother, and he looks up to me and pretty much is following in my footsteps, and I really don't want to let him down, so I'm doing the best I can, so then he has a good role model to look up to.
Oh, boy, now we're going. Okay, James.
I just wanted to share a resource with you boys that once you've fulfilled your obligations to juvenile court, you can file to have your record sealed. And you know that. Perfect. Okay, do it.
Baxter.
What's one piece of advice you would give to somebody in your similar situation? I mean, you each have a different story, but I think that's really important in the sense that it's personalized, and what you would say to them?
Feel free, like open-minded. Don't be scared. to let your feelings, your past out. Get all the motivation you need and just talk to a counselor, even if you don't even have problems. But like, it feels good to like just let one thing out, but it'll make you feel better if you let everything out.
I would probably say to just stay on track with, you have a set a goal for yourself and do everything you can to stay on track and reach that goal. Don't let your past define who you are. Just be you.
Well, kind of like the same thing like he said, so I guess just like be open and just like reach out to like different people and like talk to your counselor, because your counselor is like, to me, she's like the person that guides you throughout your next 2 years in college or your 4 years in high school, but they're the ones that are guiding you towards success. So, and they're a resource that can actually like help you out, whether if it's just like, if it's homework, if it's a classroom or anything. I would think of them as like another hand to like grab onto and just like have them be a resource to help you pretty much.
Jake.
Well, first of all, I'm going to apologize to you guys because I missed the first little part. I had to use the restroom or I wouldn't be able to see straight and I wouldn't be able to listen very well. So, but I hated missing the first part. And so I apologize if I'm going to ask some questions that maybe you already answered. But I want you to know how important this is to me, and I know to everybody on this board, hearing from you and your stories and also your thoughts about what we can do better, different, and what helped, what worked, and what didn't is very, very important. And we value that very highly. So thank you for being here. And again, apologize for missing the very first part. Secondly, Nathaniel, I'm glad to hear you say, the part about your past is not your future. Because I so agree with that. And I think we all here know that as adults. You had said that maybe, you were worried about your past, predicting your future. But let me tell you, I think part of trying is failing, right? And that shows you're trying. And so, yeah, move forward. My question would be, and you can sure comment on that too, but my question too is around, you talked a lot about the impact of counselors in your life and how helpful that was, and I'm kind of curious if maybe there was maybe some things that your teachers could have done to reach out to you or to connect with you better, because I think there are a lot of kids, like you're saying, maybe kids don't know to go for it, try to find that counselor. There might not be those resources. So how can is there something that our regular system or our teachers could be doing a better job of connecting somehow?
Well, I think that our teachers, they could like help more after class, like keeping kids after class and like pretty much just asking them how they're doing and like trying to keep up with the kid, because sometimes they could be doing good one day and then the next day they could look like they're doing bad or like they're like not doing okay. And if like the teacher just kept up, like asked them after class how they were doing, then maybe they would start opening up to the teacher more and have a better relationship with their teacher.
My freshman year, I was doing like this intensified algebra class, and like I was doing football at this time, and like he was the quarterback coach, and I used to skip a lot, and like one time I skipped this class and went to football practice. He's like, "Hey Kevin, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a long time." and it's like a counselor or a teacher should like not just like, even if they don't know the student, they should like know more about them. So like even if you see someone walking down the hall and he looks sad or like not in the mood, like give him some motivation for his day, and like maybe he'll come back more into the office and talk and like open up.
So I guess it's like the same thing with them as well, where like a teacher would like reach out and just be more in contact with the student and be like a little more familiar with them rather than just have that barrier of like just being a teacher and a student. But I believe that like having that connection would actually like make them more open, more be more like I guess like just attend class more, do more assignments and all that. Just like pretty much just create a foundation, I guess, like in order to just be connected with them, I guess.
Ryan?
Again, thank you all for coming and for sharing so willingly and openly. I guess my question is around each of you have faced some real challenges and obstacles, but have overcome those, and I think each of you is uniquely positioned to be able to not only in future careers, but even now to be able to have an impact on your fellow students, siblings, other people that you can be role models for. Where do you see yourself as either currently having a positive impact on other students, or where do you think are some of the biggest opportunities that you could use the things that you've learned to make a real difference for other students?
Well, I think of where, like, the most obvious place you could become like a positive impact on their day is, well, like at lunch, where everyone is together, and there's always that one kid that's eating lunch alone. Maybe you can just go talk to them about how their day's going, and just talk to them because they're sitting alone and they need somebody to talk to. So, and that helps them with their social skills. It's good enough. It's good to help them pretty much. Just talking one-on-one with them, it'll help them open up and just reach out to more kids, and that's how you make friends.
See, I grew up in a house with 5 kids, and like I said, I was in and out of juvenile, and like I was always out. Like, not only I was seeing it, so like I would see it, what I was going through, showing my brothers a better way, or like not to follow my steps. But then, like, I fell down and I got up back quick. So like I'm showing like an example of like it's not hard to change your life around. See, my older brother was facing depression, and like I helped him out with it and everything. Like, he was a shy person, like not much talk, and like now he's like really open and stuff. Like, I remember one day getting out of juvie, and like my little sister had these pictures drawn for me, and like that's when I like mostly realized that I'm just hurting them. And like also like I have these friends at school that like skip, like, well, because they're freshmen and I was a freshman too, and like I'm like, well, when I see them I was like, why do you skip, and who does that now? But like they'll be like, you hypocrite, and like I'm just like, hey man, it's not gonna be the right thing, because like later you'll be on truancy or something, it's gonna bring you down.
So when I was in high school, I was a part of a Latino club, and in Latino club there was like many opportunities where you were able to volunteer at many of the local areas in Walla, and I believe that has helped me like build myself into like being a good role model for my sister, for all of my other friends, and everyone else that I know. And when I graduated, I got a Young American Award, and that made me feel like, oh, well, all this volunteering actually paid off and actually made me feel like I did some good for just free service that was actually worth something. So I worked also for as a tutor at Blue Ridge Elementary School, and from there, there was these I taught like first grade and fifth grade. Well, I just helped out with their homework, and they would ask me questions as to like why I was here, why I was like volunteering, why I was like helping them out. But before I became a tutor, I volunteered there, and one of the teachers that worked there offered me a position to be a tutor, and I agreed and got the position with them. And I worked there for 2 years, and many students would like ask me, what am I doing with my life, and how's high school, how's middle school, just so like they can get an image of like how it is for them, because they want to see like that transition. They want to see how their life can change after elementary. So I told them my story, and they were like, oh, one day I want to be just like you, and just like pretty much pass that on and be either like me or something else.
Patty?
You mentioned recognition. Does recognition help you? Do you strive to do things for recognition? I mean, everything from, Speller of the Week in elementary school to being recognized for being a kind citizen on the playground all the way through high school to being Student of the Week. Does that help aspire students?
It gives the student confidence, and I feel like since they got this award or this acknowledgement, that more people will want to do the same thing, because who doesn't like getting an award?
Nobody turns it on.
I was elected student not that long ago too, and like I know a lot of students fall down, and like when they look at it or look at me, they get a picture like not only I can change, but they can too, and like it's a great feeling to like be awarded something, even something small, like for like all your confidence and trying to like move up. And yeah, it feels great.
Yeah, I guess like an award can actually be like something where the student can feel confident and be like more of value and be like, oh, if I do this, I could be like receiving an award or so. So I guess like just like how I was in elementary school back when I was still struggling through math and English and writing and reading. One teacher that really helped me out, her name is Meg Cochran. She's retired right now, but she made all my assignments really fun, like how I said before. It wasn't more like, oh, you have to do this and then you have to do that for like this type of multiplication problem. She actually would like award each one for like having the right answer, and that actually like gave you like more of like a sense of like, oh, you actually got it right. Like what else could you get like more right and be like more awarded for that? So it just created like that sense of like, oh, I could do more and be awarded more. So that's how I became successful when I was like struggling in elementary school.
Any other comments or questions? Well, again, thank you all for coming. Yeah. And someday you may remember sitting up here and talking to these people and saying, here's what it's like and this is what we're doing, but keep on the good track that you're all on, and it's phenomenal given the barriers each of you have faced to get where you're going.
This was fun.
All right.
Awesome.